Okay, so I have my world editor open with a test map. The test map has a custom unit in it, so I made a custom hero, and it's just got some random terrain and the custom unit in a building. That's it. Then in um, VS Code, I'm going to create a project, and I'll create a new folder. We'll call this W3VSCode test. And I'll use this folder to create the project. I'll click OK to open it. Okay, so now I've got my test project. So if I open up my test project using the world editor, it's just going to show me my blank starting project. Let me try that again. Okay, there we go. So here's what warcraft-vscode will generate for you when you create a new project. So I'll just close this out. The map files are going to be found. So we want to transfer this over to that, what we just saw. So the map source files are located in the map.w3x file in your project folder. So what I'll do is I'll open this map in an MPQ editor. I'll extract the files that I need from it, terrain files, whatever, transfer them over to the other one. So I think this is under documents, test. Okay, open. Okay, gotta close it in the editor first. Documents, tests. Okay. All right, so here's all of my files from the world editor for the test map that I made that I want to copy everything from. So we're going to extract this. First, what we're going to do is we're going to change the extract folder. I'm forgetting how to do that. Tools, options, work directory. Yeah, so we'll call this just create a new folder here, and we'll call it W3VSCode test. Okay. Oh, well, it didn't rename it, but we'll just put it in a new folder. Whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's our new export folder. We're going to extract everything. And then if we go to that folder, which should be located at desktop, well, actually, let me just grab the path from here. So grab this path, paste it in here. Okay, so here's all of my files from the map that I want to copy, and then here's all my files for my new project. So let me open these in the File Explorer. I'll go to the map w3x file, and then I can't remember exactly which one the terrain is, to be honest, but just copy E file, TTS, and then maybe the U file. I'm honestly not sure, but we'll just copy these over, and this may or may not work, but we'll just see. Okay, so then, and what I would recommend doing is make a copy of this folder first, so that when you copy stuff over, if it doesn't work, then you have a backup option. But after copying it over, we'll try to run the map. Okay, so we're running the map, and if we're lucky, it will run without any issues. And it will have all of our new terrain and stuff. Yep, so it's got our new terrain in here. It's got the units that were created. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what's up with this. You know, I think what's actually going on here is that the pathing map was not copied over for the terrain pathing. The pathing map and the terrain data, or the pathing data and the terrain data are different. So it's not actually showing any of these as non-pathable areas, so you just walk up them. It's kind of funny, but you can see it kind of works, you know, and obviously we're missing some data. Like in our sample project, we had our custom blood elf hero here, and we had a town hall here, and they're not here in this one. So, you know, not everything got copied over, but we got the terrain copied over, and that worked. So if we exit out, so Jess and Lua are not compatible. So if we want to copy this over to the Lua file, it's actually very easy. So we can just copy this to our project source. So I'm still in the VS Code test project that we created earlier. So I can copy that into here, and I'm just going to remove this line, and I'm going to remove the set, and then I'll put local in front of you here, and this should actually work just fine. And just in case you're like, hey, what's going on? You did that too fast. Let me walk you through it again. So from your MPQ editor, right click, click edit. It will open up your .j file in VS Code. I did Control F. I searched for create unit, found this section. I know that H000 is the code for the custom hero. HTOW is code for town hall. So I'm just copying this code block. I'm going back into my VS Code test project, going to under the source folder in main.lua, copying that, and then I'm going to keep all of this, and this should work just the same. So, oh, you know what? This is actually not going to work quite like this. I need to do like this instead. Okay. All right, so let's try this. The way that variables are declared in JAS versus Lua is a bit different, so just takes a little bit of working with it, a little bit of practice to know what's what. There are also automatic JAS to Lua converters online. So it's bribed from the Hive, GitHub IO, vJAS to Lua. So you can use this tool to automatically translate the code. So we could see that there were some code errors in what we wrote, so let's just convert it and have it do it for us automatically. So for Lua, yep, should all be good. So what happened was I just go here, copy, and then as soon as you paste it in, it's transferred automatically, but I can just show it to you. So if we copy it in, here is the JAS. You can see local player P, and then we click convert to Lua, and it looks basically the same, but it removes some stuff. So we'll copy that out, and we'll put it in our main.lua file. We'll replace our non-working code with this, and then all we need to do is run our functions. So create buildings for player 0, create units for player 0. Now, if you run this, should work just fine, but we have another problem, which is that the world editor is not opening. Probably because the W3I file doesn't match. So we can see we get our custom hero here. We got our town center. We have our unit that we created using object editing. So this is actually pretty good. This is further than I usually get. But so we've got pretty much everything from the new map and the old map in here. The only problem right now is that if we try to open this project in the world editor, it is going to, I don't think it's going to work. And the reason why I don't think it's going to work is because the W3I file is missing. So the world editor relies on some files being available that we did not copy over. So we need to, so it's kind of a process of trial and error of going through, figuring out what you need to copy. So in this case, there is an issue with our original map file. You'll notice that we had to copy that .j file over. Our original map is set to run in JAS. Our new map that we created using warcraft-vscode uses Lua. The two are not compatible. You can't have them in the same map without an adapter, which is just going to ultimately transpile one to the other during a build step for your map. But what we need to do to resolve this issue is that if we try, so the configuration for whether your map uses Lua or JAS is in this W3I file. Currently, the test map that we created is set to use JAS. And for as long as it's set to continue using JAS, our new map is not going to be able to import this W3I file from our old map. And looks like this is just not wanting to run. So let me see what's going on here. I have no idea why the editor isn't opening. Very annoying. Let's try opening it from here. Launch editor. There we go. Okay, so let's open up our test map here. Interesting. It doesn't even want to open up our old map. And this is a valuable lesson. Always back up your source map too. So let's see if we can get it to open. What I want to do now is I want to try to find my test Warcraft 3 map file and see if I can even open it. We can't open it. That is a major bummer. So what I'm going to try to do here is I still have it open in my editor as rebuild archive. Yes. Okay. Okay, nice, cool. So we're back in. So the remaining issue that we're having is that this map uses JAS. We need it to use Lua. So the first thing that we'll need to do is, if you're copying a map, there's going to be tons of scripts in here. Basically, you just have to go in and you have to delete everything that's in here. Delete all of the JAS code in the project. Then and only then, once that's done, you can go to the scenario map options and you'll be able to change JAS to Lua. If there is any JAS code in your project this script language option will be grayed out, and you will not be, it will be disabled. You won't be able to select everything. So you need to get all of the JAS code out before this will even work. But we'll convert that to JAS. We'll save the project, and I should have copied this before doing that. Do as I say, not as I do. Copy your source file and your destination, your source folder, your source map, and your destination map/folder before you do any of this, because you can end up losing data very easily, and you can't undo it. So always copy everything, make multiple copies, etc. Okay, so now this is in the Lua format, so let's reopen it using MPQ editor, and hopefully we should just be able to copy everything over as is now. So let's go to MPQs, test, open, and we should see, okay, we'll need to close in the world editor first, but we should see a .lua file in here now, hopefully. I can't remember if that's how, actually, it does. Okay, so we've got a War3 map Lua file in here. Previously, we saw a .j file. After going into the map settings, converting it to Lua, we end up with this. So this is perfect. This is what we want to see. So we're going to first modify our path that this is getting sent to. So let's create another new folder under War3 map imports called VSCode test. VSCode test. Okay. I don't know why I just want to rename my folders, but I guess we're going with new folder 2 here. So first let me copy that path, extract, and then I'll go there in my file editor. Okay. This is so annoying. Options. Let's just try test VS Code. Let's see. Okay. Let's try exporting. Nice. Okay, so here's our files from our map that's been converted to Lua now. So we've got our map that's been converted to Lua with all of these files. We've got our new map VS Code test folder. So let's try copying over everything now, except for the .lua file, because if we, oh no, actually we should be able to copy over the .lua file. That should work just fine. If we had any code that we had specified in the editor for our test project, that wouldn't work. For example, if we had previously opened up our VS Code test project in the world editor, oh right, we can't open it in the world editor right now because our W3I file is broken. But if we had opened it in the editor and specified some GUI triggers, some triggers in the trigger editor without code or with code, and then open it in VS Code map, that would generate a War3 map Lua file that had some custom stuff in here. So right now, what's in here is just being generated by what you get by default when you create a new project in warcraft-vscode. So we don't need any of that. We're just trying to translate over our new stuff here. So let's, okay, so we got our, so this is our old stuff that we want to transfer over, and then we want to transfer it into here. So revealed file explorer. And this time I'm actually going to make another copy of this. So let me make another copy of this map.w3x file. So I know that that's at least working in the game client if it's not working in the world editor. So we'll control click, copy over, replace the files, and with any luck this should now open in the world editor. Open in world editor. Okay, great. So now we've got it opening up in world editor. So that's perfect. So now let's try actually running it. And based on the fact that we could open it in world editor, I think this is all going to work as expected now. Yep, so we've got Hello Warcraft-vscode. That's from our Warcraft-vscode project. We've got everything with our terrain working as expected. So looks like everything's here. We've got some units duplicated from some code that we manually copied over. So let's remove those. And then let's see how we can update some stuff. So this is the code that we manually copied over. So let's remove this. And let's say that we want to create a custom unit using object editing. What we can do is we can create a new unit definition. So let me just start over from here. So your unit definition is going to specify the new ID that you want. It could be anything. You can make it like X999, or you can make it, U200. It doesn't matter what you want to do. It can be anything. So let's just do X999. And then let's base this off of Blood Mage. If you want to know what the ID is for Blood Mage, just open up the world editor. And then under units, next to Blood Mage, let's press Control D on the keyboard. We can see HBLM is the code for the Blood Mage. You could also do view and then display values as raw data. That will get you the same thing. So if you want to see what the ID is, do that, HBLM. That's what we want to copy for our new unit. So what this does is this creates a new unit with the ID of X999 that contains all of the attributes of the Blood Mage. But we want to customize this new unit, and let's say we want to give it more max mana. So to see what functions we have available for object editing, we can go to GitHub Warcraft 3 object editing, or Warcraft-III object editing. This is the same package that is used by warcraft-vscode for object editing. Same source code, same executable. If we go into the source file in here, and then we go into Lua, then into object, then into unit object editing, we can see all of the options that are available to us. So we want to adjust the mana for this. So let's go to search mana, and we want to set the maximum mana to, I don't know, 9,000. So let's set it to 9,000. So H102, set, I meant to copy this. Copy, set maximum mana, 9,000. And then let's set initial mana, set mana initial amount to 9,000 as well. We can set it to 8,000 so we can see the difference, right? So 8,000, and so we've got a new unit based off of the Blood Mage, but it's got 9,000 mana instead. We're setting the initial mana to 8,000, and if we want to create this unit, we just need to use the ID that we defined in here. So X999. So we'll do create unit for player 0, that's red, X999, and then we'll just create it at our same location as our other unit. If we wanted to create it more in the middle, we could look in the lower right hand corner, right where my mouse is now. When I'm hovering around, we can see those coordinates appear down there. So let's look for a point that makes more sense. So let's look at -100x, -1100y, -100x. and negative 1100Y. That's where we will spawn our new Blood Mage unit. And let's run the map. And we should see a new custom Blood Mage with 8,000 out of 9,000 mana pop up there. Okay. And approximately, it's getting a little extra mana from this amount that it's getting from intelligence, which is 285. So just 8,000 plus 285, and then 9,000 plus 285. But it is working as expected. That's it.